Today on Rangai News, we ask just what has happened to locally grown produce since the flooding.
Floodstock raises over $8,000 in funds to help support local musicians affected by Cyclone Gabriel.
Challenge our fellow Rangai students on what they're doing to conserve water during the water crisis.
And Gizzy surfer Safi Veri wins big at the Mad Mex Maroubra Pro in New South Wales.
And we also have a guest this week, Deirdre from Smilmir.
Nau mai haere mai and welcome to Rangai News. In our first story this week, we look at what's happening to locally grown produce in our region since the flooding. Here's Nathan Mihaka with the report.
It has been nearly 4 weeks since Cyclone Gabriel hit Gisborne, and we are still feeling the effects of it now. Water restrictions are still in place, the water pipeline is still shut off, and there is still no sign of it being fixed anytime soon. Despite all this, life in Gisborne is starting to stabilise again. Schools and other educational facilities are opening, and for the most part it's work as usual. However, it's the rural areas of Te Tairāwhiti that are struggling to get back on its feet. Although a lot of the flood water has receded and the roads are slowly opening, the impact of silt and other flood damage has created in rural areas may be felt for years to come. Te Tairāwhiti and Hawke's Bay combined produces 90% of the country's wheat corn, and this is what happened to many of them as the cyclone passed through. For farmers, the damage has been devastating, with land and buildings damaged and a year's worth of crops and produce washed out or drowned in the flood. But these damages just won't affect the farmers. The costs will trickle down to the consumers as well. The loss in produce is already leading to a spike of fruit and vegetables. Kumara and broccoli are among the first to see the rise in value, along with others as well. Meat products are also expected to be on the rise, with flood damages making it significantly more difficult to send stock to the freezing works and into the supermarkets. In spite of this, farmers are still willing to get their hands even dirtier in order to keep the farms running and our shelves full. It could be months or even years until things return to normal prior to Cyclone Gabriel. As for now, we can expect to be feeling an extra sting in our pockets when we go buy our kai.
Thank you Nathan and Taharuha for that report. That's some real fascinating stuff.
You're welcome.
Now we have a cool video about a local fundraiser, Floodstock, and that was held last weekend to raise money for some of our local musicians.
First there was Woodstock, then there was Woodstock again. I think somebody thought it would be a good idea to do Woodstock again. But that someone had an even better idea, which was to do Floodstock.
A music gig was held at Smash Palace to raise money for local musicians who lost everything in Cyclone Gabriel. The fundraiser, titled Floodstock, raised $8,000 and will go to musicians most affected by the storm. The owner of Smash Palace, Daryl Monty, says the fundraiser is basically a band of friends of music who are getting together to raise funds for fellow artists, especially at Whatatutu, who lost everything in the storm. Their musical equipment was destroyed, and so this fundraiser will help them to at least get back on track. Daryl performed as part of the 5-piece band The Ashes. He said that it was fantastic to see the community coming together to help all the musician friends, and that music was the winner of the day. Charles Barry, vocalist and guitarist for the 3-piece group Litter, said it was lovely playing for a good cause, and to have such a good turnout is incredible. I have seen the damage the cyclone has brought to the region, so it feels good contributing to it. Donations made at the fundraiser will go to musicians like Ben and Hilton, who were affected during the events of the Cyclone Gabriel. Their home, livestock, studio and transport was flooded out, and up to $100,000 worth of musical equipment was destroyed.
Thank you to Vala and Kaj Tata for that awesome clip.
So, as we are all aware, we have been in an ongoing water crisis since the cyclone devastated the main water pipe coming into our region. Restrictions are likely to continue for some time, and the more awareness shared about water conservation, the better. Earlier this week, the Gisborne District Council have launched Wero Te Aki Wai, Embrace the Challenge. Our reporters, Te Hira Horua and Te Aruhe Fox, explain what it's all about and challenge some of the screen production students here at Rangai to see how they're conserving water.
Kia ora. We are in a water crisis, and it's important that we protect and preserve our water. Here at Rangai, we use our dishwasher. Most modern dishwashers are more water efficient than washing by hand, as the same amount of water is recycled in the dishwasher. So just make sure it's more than 1 cup. Kia ora, Kaj, what do you do to save water around your household?
Yes, so what we do is we like to go to a friend's house and we fill up bottles of water from their water tank that they have outside that catches rainwater, and that's how we save water.
Well, with starters we had a tank, so just before our water got cut off we topped it up, and we don't use the toilet as much, we just go outside on the grass.
Awesome, man. Kia ora, te aroha, what do you do around your household to save water?
Okay, this is my water saving tip, but it only works if you have a pool or other large source of water. We've just been bucketing water into our, what do you call it? Washing machine. The washing machine. We're just bucketing water into the washing machine. And also conserving water from showers, so I'll put a bucket in the shower and it'll collect all the water in that we can use for things.
Kia ora, te hira. What do you do around the house to save water?
I have shorter showers, and a way to measure how short my showers are, I just it's the length of one song. So I have a speaker in the shower, and then it's the length of one song that might help you have shorter showers. True.
Mean, awesome.
Share your water saving tip at this link here. There are prizes up for grabs as well. $500 goes to the winner, and that goes to a charity or school of their choice. Runner-up gets $250. Te aki nā te wai, Gizzy. Look after our supply before it runs dry.
Definitely some interesting answers there from the crew. But Sheila, we didn't hear from you in that clip. How have you and your family been conserving water? Any innovative ways or useful tips that you'd like to share?
Yeah, my family is on tank supply, so it's been kind of treating it as normal, but if we go to our mates' places, we sort of take our own bottles of water as to not to use their share, I guess. And other little things around our house, like not having the water on while we brush our teeth, and there's a spring up the hill that we have a hose connected to that we use for like watering the garden and getting water to the animals.
Nice, cool. All right, moving on to sports news. Far away from Cyclone Gabrielle, Gisborne's own Safi Veti has just won a World Surf League qualifier, the Mad Max Maroubra Pro, held in New South Wales, Australia. What an amazing achievement. Here's our report from Patrice Moore and Dakota Tihore.
Over the weekend, Safi Veti of Gisborne, New Zealand, has won the Mad Max Pro QS 1000. Safi says that she is so happy to win her first QS trophy. It has been her goal of hers for some time now. She says that she had an amazing week in Maroubra. It felt like home to her. It's been a really special to get a win for her family and herself. Her dad lives there for a short amount of time for work, so it's a special place for her family. In the women's final, both competitors were hunting for their maiden WSL qualifying series event wins.
What an epic achievement from Safi. Massive congratulations going out to her. We'll be keeping a keen eye on her next competition for sure.
And earlier this week was International Women's Day, and every year around this time, Sport Gisborne Tairāwhiti launches Well Wahine Week. In these challenging times, examples of the community's desire to reach out, support one another and connect have been unmistakable. It is this spirit of connection that will permeate this year's Wahine Week. Events aimed at celebrating and embracing women's well-being have been happening all week and will continue right through to Sunday afternoon. You can see the calendar on screen now. There's some real fantastic events happening this weekend. What takes your fancy, Te Aroha?
I was kind of keen on the breakfast, and I'm curious to know what forest bathing is.
Yeah, I'm curious about the pixie picnic out at Gray's Bush. Gonna go have a picnic with the fairies.
Nice, that sounds cute. And now we go to our lovely guest. Kia ora, Deirdre. Welcome to Rangai.
Thank you.
First of all, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Deirdre Hemingway Aho. I'm a mother of 4 tamariki. I've got 3 beautiful girls and a son, and 2 amazing mokopuna who live in Sydney. I work here locally at Kaingaora and have been in Tairāwhiti since probably 2002. So, yeah.
And can you tell us what is Smear Your Mare?
So Smear Your Mare is a campaign that was started by Tale Morrison. For, if you don't know Tale, she was a kapahaka queen with a group called Te Matarai Ihirohirehu. They're a kapahaka group in Te Aroha, from Te Aroha. So she was diagnosed with cervical cancer, and she started the campaign to bring awareness for wahine around cervical cancer.
Yeah. Cool. And what motivated you to support this kaupapa?
So I had a friend that was actually biking this year. So part of the kaupapa when Tale died was to take her mauri, or the essence of her, back to where Matatini was. This year it was in Auckland. So I supported a friend who biked from Wellington to Auckland. But more importantly for me, it was really around what Smear Your Mare is all about, and it's about empowering our women to take care of themselves, because without them there's no whakapapa. So really important to keep our wahine alive, and that is one of the ways that we can do that, by educating women to get their cervical smears done.
We need them. Very important.
We do.
So did you personally find it difficult to get your first smear?
Yeah, I have to be honest, I did. And I didn't actually have my first smear until after my son, who's now 28. So it was a few years after he was born that I actually went, and it wasn't a great experience either. Results came back that I needed to go and see a gynecologist, and so all those things kind of impact on your decision making about whether you go and get, go back again. So, like lots of wahine, really bad experiences, but now understand the importance of having that done.
And I'll sort of expand on that a wee bit, if you can talk about it. What things make it difficult? What makes the experience bad? Because I can't speak from experience.
Yeah. And I guess it's it'll be different for different women, but it was more about the person who was doing it, and so it's just the discomfort. Some of it's around whakamā, being embarrassed. Wahine quite often feel, and you do feel embarrassed to show those parts of your body, but it's really important that we understand why we do what we have to do. On top of that, the HPV vaccine, at the age of 11, our tamariki female tamariki can now be vaccinated, which ensures that they have less chance of getting cervical cancer and won't need to have the cervical smear test until at least 25. And also, I'll add to that, May this year, women will be able to do their own smear tests in their home.
Yes, let's go. That's a huge win. We were talking about that before. That's a huge win for us, because we were looking at it. When do we have to get ours? That's a huge one. Let's go. Is there anything you'd like to say to those who are thinking about getting a smear test?
don't think, just go and do it. And as I've said, as I said earlier, it is really about your whakapapa.
Yeah.
And ensuring that your children, your mokopuna are going to be around for a long time. Without women, there would be no whakapapa.
Yeah.
So take care of ourselves.
And where is a good place to find more information about Smear Your Mere?
So Smear Your Mere is a campaign on its own. So there's a Facebook page which was started in 2019, really, and shows the journey of that particular campaign. But I mean, I would encourage you to look locally. You've got Tūranga Health, you've got your own doctors that you can go to find out more information around cervical cancer and the smears.
Great, thank you.
Awesome.
Well, we've got one last question for you, and that's what's something you did for yourself this Well Wahine week?
I was fortunate this week to have spent 2 beautiful days up at Lotten Point. It was for work, but it was good for me and it filled my bucket. I was able to go swimming. I did a beautiful walk around Lotten Point. So that's probably my wellness is being out in nature, and so that's been
having a break.
Awesome for me. Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much for that information. And you at home can find out more information about Smear Your Mere and their events on the Smear Your Mere Facebook page or Instagram at Smear Your Mere.
And welcome to the Rabbit Hole. In this segment we choose a topic and try to dissect what we can in a short amount of time. Today's first topic is, we'll go International Women's Day.
Yeah, International Women's Day for the first topic.
So,
Got to get some
I
people in the
didn't
rabbit hole about
intentionally celebrate, but just earlier this week on Wednesday, had a bit of a day off from here. I was just not feeling that great. So I went home, and while I was sick, I did really enjoy just being at home, and I went out and spent a bit of time with our animals. Did you do much, Tiana?
I didn't know it was International Women's Day until Google showed it to me. But nah, to be honest, I didn't even know that all the stuff surrounding International Women's Day and Well Wahine Week was even happening.
Nah, me neither, really.
So nah, I didn't get into it too much. But yeah, I like seeing the little Google doodles that pop up. It's nice to have that reminder. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have known at all.
What are your thoughts on it?
I was like you actually. I didn't know it was International Women's Day until I got a message from someone at the office when we'd gone and climbed this waterfall at Lotten Point, and the photo was of all us wahine. So they said, "Oh, that's a good picture," and of women working together and celebrating International Women's Day. So I was the same as you.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I wish I went on that walk.
Great.
I'm glad I didn't.
Another topic we have is water and the water crisis and anything surrounding that.
Yeah, and how that's affecting people. It's not really been too much of a problem, really. I think the worst thing is that the tap water kind of
doesn't taste good.
Tastes worse than it was before.
I'm rather grateful that we're on tank supply.
Yeah, hard. I would be thankful if I were on tank supply. It does, yeah, it's a little bit annoying having to bucket water in and out of, that's really annoying actually, but, well, yeah, we get past it. No, it's all good. I don't mind it that much, and having short showers is nice because I have a really bad habit of just standing in the shower and just, like for half an hour, so I'm glad I don't do that.
I think it has highlighted though how much water we do actually waste.
Yes.
I've got a teenage daughter who will spend at least 40 minutes in the shower.
Oh.
So that's been a nice change.
I wish I could spend 40 minutes in the shower.
It's not all that. I just spend like my half an hour just contemplating when I really
Exactly. It's a good time to just stand there. You've got nice warm water that's like just so hard to like get out of. Just standing there contemplating. It's a good feeling.
It's a nice feeling, yeah. Water.
Yeah. The last very right kind of random topic that we have is potatoes.
Potatoes specifically. That
It
ties
was
into produce.
100% necessary to chuck this in there.
Absolutely. I have a lot to say about potatoes and how potatoes, like how significant potatoes are historically.
They are.
They're very, very significant. In fact, in one point in time, Māori used them like currency.
And it's like, how there's so many different species of potatoes.
So many different kinds of potatoes.
Even just kumara.
Kumara.
There's like 3 standard ones.
You've got like potato, then you've got sweet potato, but then you've got all sorts of kinds of regular potato, and then heaps of kinds of sweet potato.
Yeah. Well, no, there's heaps of kinds of regular potatoes as well.
Yes.
It depends on the starch content.
Oh yeah. I reckon the purple Māori potatoes are a bit more starchy than like the supermarket
Yeah, we
potatoes.
have those in our garden. They just grow there. And
What
they
a-
just grow up every year. My sister loves potatoes and just goes in the garden and raids it for the little purple Māori
like
potatoes.
to eat them?
Yeah.
Or just to look
To
at?
eat.
Okay.
To eat.
What else would you do with the potato? What about you, Deirdre? What's your favourite potato? Or potato-based meal? Or potato fact?
Oh, that's another thing.
We grew up with mashed potatoes in every single meal, so I'm not a great potato fiend at the moment.
No. I respect that. I had
respect that.
mashed
It's
potatoes so
understandable.
much.
Mashed potato is good. It's
No, stink. I'm sick of it.
the amount of things you can do with potatoes.
Okay, look, there's even like heaps of different kinds of chips.
I have to say, you can boil them, mash them, and stick them in a stew.
You can.
You carry them on a spoon too.
You can fry them. You can just eat them raw if you want to.
Okay, and
Let's come out. Let's crawl our way out of the rabbit hole now. Let's just hop out of the rabbit hole. All right, that's Rangai news for this week. Ngā mihi nui from all the team here at Rangai Studios, and we'll see you all next week.
and thanks for watching. Like and
Like
subscribe.
and sub. Thanks. Thank you, Deirdre.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Potatoes.
We were going on about it for a good 15 minutes yesterday.